Okay. Sure. Yeah, so this is like, this is how it is right now. Wait, do you know how to zoom back out? Wait. So basically this, it won't let me add, it says non-character controller, and the sphere is the one that I need.
Yeah, because you don't have a character controller on your sphere.
How do you add that again?
Go add component. Nope, no. Over in the inspector. Scroll down.
It's not letting me.
Oh, can you put your mouse in between? You see that black bar down at the bottom of the inspector?
Yeah.
Put your mouse near the edge of that and see if it turns into a pair of arrows. Nope.
No.
Okay.
Let me just try maybe doing this. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Yeah. Add component character controller.
Okay.
And now you can drag your sphere in.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. No worries.
Hi everyone, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Good, hey. Okay, so today is our last class, and well, we're gonna start again with walking through your presentations and seeing your projects. So who wanna go first? Okay, should I start picking? Arman, you wanna go first?
No thanks.
No thanks. Well, since I have no volunteers, I kind of now just going through my list. So you're first on my list. Did you do any project?
Yeah, but
Yesterday
I couldn't concentrate on the homework because it was super duper hard.
It was super hard.
And then I ended up with this. Wait.
Yeah, okay, so why don't you open your project? And guys, we actually allocated more time for that today so that Riley can actually go ahead and help you guys, okay? So we're gonna go through everyone's project, and whatever problems you had, whatever trouble you had, this is your opportunity to make it work because Riley's here. Once we're done with this lesson, then you're on your own, right? So this is your opportunity to actually get it fixed. So go ahead, share your screen. And we'll walk through your project, and we're all here to help. Thank you. And everyone else, please get your project started so that once your turn comes, you just share your screen and go right ahead.
Well, that's what I ended up with.
Okay, so what was your idea? Can you double click?
My idea was to make a big giant boat.
Big giant port. Okay, but can you double click on your scenes, Arman? On your scenes folder. Yes, stop this project, stop this game. Yeah, double click on your scenes folder.
Arman, on the folder.
I want to see what other scenes you have, because the goal was to move between two scenes, right?
I have a sample scene.
Oh, so you started completely new project, right? But the goal was to move between two scenes. So you need at least two scenes so that you can actually move from one to another, right? Do you still have your snowman project, Arman?
I do not know.
You don't know? Remember the very first day we had the snowman project? Where
Yeah,
you
I
had to
know.
build- Did you build
I
that
know.
one?
I know what the snowman project was, but I don't remember where it was.
It probably was another project. So we do not recommend creating separate projects for each scene. You can always just create new scene. That looks like you created new project. So go ahead, click on your file.
Which file?
You see in the menu, on the very top, you have file, edit assets. Yeah, just click on file. Yeah, so create new scene, add something here really quickly. We just need two scenes, right? Yeah, doesn't matter what. You don't even need to, yeah, like that. Okay, just plain is enough. Now go back. So where did it create it? Yeah, just leave it like this. Now click on it on the assets. Go to main assets folder. Actually, click on file again. Let's save this scene first. File. Click on file again. Riley, does this scene save automatically?
Nope, just you need to save it.
Save as. Okay, so go ahead, save as. Yep. So double click on scenes folder. You want all your scenes to be in the same place. In the scenes folder. Double click on scenes folder.
Where is it?
On the top. Tim, you want to take the control and help, please?
For saving scene, sure.
Not just saving scene, there will be other stuff that we will be doing, right? So we're going to show him how to add the script using his project, okay? And everyone else who had trouble with that will have a second chance and second opportunity to actually go through that. Because the goal was to transition from one scene to another scene, okay, using the script that Riley shared yesterday. Okay, so Arman, double click on scenes, on the folder name scenes. You see the folder there? Yeah. No, yeah, that one. Did you double click on it? No. Tim, did you do something or is it him doing?
Tim's controlling my screen.
So where's the scene now? I hope he didn't overwrite his previous one. You would have asked though, right? Okay, so can you move them both into the scenes folder? Okay, so we want, you see you have the scenes folder, Arman. So you want all your scenes to actually sit in the same folder, okay? Okay, so open the scenes folder now. Yep, that one. And your original project name was QQQ or something like that. Yeah, that one. So double click on it, there you go. Okay, so here, can you at least add some plane so that this stuff don't fall? Or was that the idea so everything falls?
Yeah, I guess so. Like the ship is sinking.
Okay, but what do you want to trigger the transition to new scene?
I don't know.
Okay, so I suggest we add the plane. Go ahead, add the plane. Like that, and make sure everything sits on that plane.
I just put rigid bodies on everything.
That's why they're falling. So at least if that green surface wouldn't have, would just, if you remove that's another way of doing it, right? You can remove the rigid body from the green surface so that everything just stays on that. But it's okay, we're just gonna put the plane. And the way we're gonna do it, so as soon as something touches the plane, we're gonna move to another scene, okay?
Okay.
So that's what we're gonna do. Mm-hmm. 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 Make it longer. Yeah, that's good enough. Awesome. And make sure it doesn't touch yet, Sim. So we're gonna trigger it as soon as one of those barrels touches the plane. Can you move the plane a little down? So there's a little gap. Yep. So maybe look from another angle to see if you can see the gap, or play it to see if everything's falling on it. Yep, there's a gap. Awesome. Nice. So now, Arman, we wanna the scene transition will be triggered by what? What do you wanna be that trigger?
I wanna feed it. I don't know actually.
So when let's say plane itself is actually the trigger. So as soon as something touches the plane, we actually move to another. Can we do that, Riley? Yes.
Pardon, I'm not sure I understood.
So I want to show him how to make a transition between scenes. So I'm suggesting to put a trigger on plane. So if anything touches the plane, he moves to different scenes. Yeah. Okay. So can you guys help him? Can you lead him to do that now?
Sure. So, Arman, I want you to go over into the inspector, and down near where it says Mesh Collider, I want you to first check Convex. Yep. Go ahead and click the checkbox next to it. And now also click on Is Trigger. Perfect. Do you have the scripts that I gave you yesterday?
I downloaded them, but when I downloaded them, but for some reason it's not here anymore.
Yeah, because you never added it.
Go ahead and open up your File Explorer. Explorer. No, the one beside it. The one beside. No, other side. No. To the left.
The yellow folder, yeah.
No, to the right a little bit. You went over it. Yep, that one. And let's go into downloads. And we'll see if it's here. Nope, it's not in here.
It was in recent.
It was in recent?
Yep.
All right, go into recent then.
Where was it?
And everyone who had trouble with this is your opportunity, right, to actually follow it and do it in your project so that when your name is called, you can show us.
Keep scrolling up, Arman. And was it, oh, no.
Quick access.
Quick access? No. So at the top of the left menu. Down.
Point. Yeah. You're still controlling, right?
Okay, it's on. So go to the left side of your screen.
It's not letting me. This side?
Yeah, quick access, just up a little bit. There you go.
Yep.
You just went over it.
You see the line that says quick access?
Down a little bit.
Down.
There
there you go. You see it says quick access. Yeah.
And there it is. So
You see the
towards the
script,
bottom of
next
it.
level.cs?
Yeah.
Next level.cs.
So what I want you to do now is make the window smaller.
How
Just
do I do that? I've never done that before, I guess.
click up
If
on
you
the
control his screen, show him where to click, right? Just point it and he'll click it there.
very top of the window. And nope, yeah, click at the very top and drag downwards. Unless, oh, hold on, one other thing we need to do. Click on the button right neck beside the X. Oh, that's perfect, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Keep scrolling down, scroll down. Oh, you passed it, up a little bit. And now drag next level.cs into Unity. Yeah, there were worse things. Now you can go ahead and close the File Explorer.
Yeah, Armand, now you added your script to Unity, right? Otherwise it didn't have it.
And can we go ahead and open up next level.cs for a second? Yeah, this is the one that I have a mistake in. Where it says on line 9, there's the letters 2D. Yep, no, you passed them.
Line 9?
Yep, right there.
2D.
And get rid of the 2D.
Not the collision, get rid of 2D.
Make sure
And
there's a
put the
space still.
back. Add the space? No?
Nope, leave the R.
Collider space collision.
You got rid of one too many.
You got rid of R at the end of the word collider. Put that back. Yeah, perfect.
And now save.
Do you know how to save?
Perfect.
Yeah.
And now drag the script onto the plane. Good. Perfect. Nope, that was good. That was good. You just need it once. Scroll down on the plane. Over on the left.
On the inspector of the plane.
No.
Click
Yeah,
on
sorry.
The
Click on the plane. You may have to select it from the hierarchy.
yeah.
And scroll down on the inspector. My bad.
Yeah, it's there. Oops.
Oh.
Click on the plane again, you lost it. Yeah. And scroll down on the inspector. We want to see if your script is there. Yeah, scroll down on the inspector components all the way down, and we want to see if the script is there. Next level.
Make sure it's only there once.
Yeah, we only need it once, so we need to delete one.
How do I delete one?
Hit the little gear next to it. And remove component. Good. And now, no, click on the little arrow again next to next level. And in that little box, make sure you put in new scene.
So which scene you want to transition to, right? So double click on your scene folder. Now all your scenes are in your scene folder, right? No. You want to drag here that scene. Right?
Where?
Remember that new scene that you created and we put it in the scenes folder? Go ahead, find that scene.
Make sure to lock the inspector first.
No, it's fine.
Double click. So which scene you want to transition to?
Yeah, save.
Yeah. The next scene one, right? New scene. Is that the one that you created? The other one. So note how you spelled
This
it.
is the one. Yeah, this is the one.
That's the current one, but we will be transitioning to another scene, which you just created, right? To that scene. Remember, note how you spelled it. So that's the name you want to put in that window, right?
Yes.
So now go back to your QQQ project, see? Double click on your QQQ.
So
Go back to playing. Go back in inspector down to your script. In the inspector, scroll down to your script.
not working.
Tim, can you unmute yourself so that I can talk to you? Tim?
Yeah, sorry, it didn't let me unmute.
Yeah, so can you help him actually if he's confused?
I
Okay,
get
then
it.
scroll down in the inspector. We just need to add the scene to which we're
Okay,
transitioning.
just Armand, can you just don't touch it for a sec?
There you go. So in the scene name, Armand, go ahead and type the new scene just as you typed it right there. Okay. Did Tim type that or did Armand type that?
I typed.
No, it was small and yeah, it was just like this. Yeah. Okay, Riley, who did that?
All right, perfect. Now there's one last thing that we need to do. We need to go into edit. Nope, not edit. It's in file. Build settings. And now click add open scenes. Close this. And new scene. And do the same thing. And now we can go back to the QQQ scene and give it a test.
Armand, go ahead, please.
Bah.
Did you change to a different project?
I don't know.
Yeah, he changed the name of the scene. It's now ACGN or something.
Yeah,
You're in a. This is a different. This is a complete. Close this.
Oh, he had several projects open. He has 2 Unities open, Tim. Can you close one?
You mean like this?
Yeah. There we go. And yeah, it seems to have worked.
Okay, and can you point the camera so we see actually what happened there? Tim, can you help him? Okay, and at the meantime, let's see who's going to be next. Who put in the chat box if you're ready to go next. If not, I will just call myself. Okay, I don't see anything in the chat box. So Lucas, just get ready. Is Lucas here?
Yep, it works.
Yeah, Lucas, get ready. You'll be next. The camera pointing to the project? Sorry, I missed that. Can you align the camera with the view?
Yeah. Oh, camera's aligned.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah. So we had different window open there, chat box open. So Armand, you good? Did it work?
I guess so.
Yeah, so that was the homework, to transition from one scene to another one. Obviously, like we wanted to see more, but you built a pretty cool, incredible machine there, but you already had it, so you didn't have to go and build it from scratch. If you saved your previous scene, the idea was for all the scenes to be in the same project, so that now you just transition from one scene to the snowman scene. So that was the homework was supposed to be pretty easy. Okay, but thank you so much. Yeah, now you know, right? And
Yeah.
it gave everyone opportunity to actually refresh the knowledge as well. Okay, thank you, Armand. So Lucas, are you ready to share your screen? Okay, and in my list, Zachary is next. So let Zachary get ready. to go after Lucas. Lucas,
I
go ahead, Sherry.
accidentally deleted my scenes.
Oh. Okay, so but Lucas, you just saw what we did, right? Did you manage to get to that level?
Yeah, but then I accidentally deleted them.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But can you tell us what you did actually? What how you did the homework? Maybe just describe it.
Um, I so I used my Rube Goldberg machine, and remember how I had a catapult? So when the ball would land on like a plane, and then that would trigger the next scene.
Right. Okay. And but you still have that Rube Goldberg machine scene, right? You didn't delete that one, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can
Wow.
actually go ahead and do just what we showed to Arman, right? Bring the script in and connect in your script to the scenes and do the new. But do you want to go one more time through this so refresh the knowledge, or you think you are empowered to do it on your own now?
Riley,
Yeah.
Khaled needs some help. Would you be able to quickly put me in a breakout room with him so I can just figure
Sure.
out? We'll be back.
Okay, and Lucas, why don't you go ahead and share your screen anyways? Just want to do this entire thing one more time, just make sure that everyone's clear on it. Because we have some time, we kind of allocated about an hour for projects, so we have time to actually help you individually, all of you. So go ahead, Lucas, share your screen and your project, and just open the Incredible Machine theme. Yep, perfect. Okay, so can you show me this? I don't see the scripts folder, right? So you don't have the script yet. So the first step, remember which one is it? What other scene do you have? Can you double click on the scenes folder? Okay, you don't have any other scene. Where is this scene is sitting? Go back to your assets folder. So Riley, I don't see this scene, and it's probably hiding in some other folder. Is there a quick way to find where it is?
Where did you put your scenes? Save your scenes to, Lucas? Where did you save your scenes to?
Save them in, I'm pretty sure here.
You know what? Just go one by one through all the folders. It has to be in one of those since it's open, right? Just double click on each of them. Double click to get inside. No,
Nope.
It's not here. Go back. Yeah, double click. You can double click there. Not here, but okay, but that's where your scripts are. Okay, and I see the next level there. Good. Okay, so no.
Oh, there
there
they
you
are.
go. Yeah, so can you actually move them to your scenes folder? Just one by one? Yeah, so you didn't delete them. You actually just moved them accidentally. And that's actually what happened to Riley yesterday as well. That's where his scripts ended up. Yeah, okay, so go to your scripts folder. Sorry, not to your scenes folder. Your scenes folder. Yeah, okay, so what is your main scene?
Huh?
Double click on the
This is my
main scene. This is your sample scene, right? So, and what is that one? Okay, so let's just transition from one to another, right? So, yeah.
Actually, you have a little bit of a box at the end of your maze, don't you, to get to?
Yeah.
Why don't you have it when the player touches that box, you transition to your sample scene?
Okay.
Which element is that box actually? You have to find that element. So find the element, and if the player touches that element, that's the element you want to add the script to, right? Again, everyone else, if you lost it somehow, this is your opportunity to actually follow up and add this scene transition. Is that the cube? Can you select on that cube just to make sure that it's
No,
the
it
one?
is the cube.
It is the cube? Okay, sorry.
Oh, oh, that's weird. Oh,
What?
that's extraordinarily weird. Oh, weird. I see. So, yes, that's exactly what I was going to get you to do. Perfect. Save. Now it should work.
So what was the weird part, Riley?
He had the file on his desktop and the file in the project, which were both open in his editor,
Ah, okay.
and it wasn't clear where each one was, but the
Right.
one in the editor has a mistake in it.
Got it. Okay, so
All right.
now that you know you have the correct script, what was the next step we have to do? Yeah, drag your script to that cube, remember?
Oh, right click on your file and hit rename. We're going to be a little bit careful here. There's a space in between next and level. That's the only thing we want to delete. There you go. Now give it a shot.
Yeah, drag it to your cube.
Okay, we have to rename one more time. Sorry, I missed this as well. We need to give it a capital L.
So you see in your code on line 6, that's the name you want, okay? You see how you spell the next level on line 6, where you
There you go.
actually declare the class? Yeah.
Perfect, that worked.
Mhm.
And now, put in the scene name sample scene. Capital S, capital S both times, no space.
Yeah, exact spelling as you have for your scene to which
I
you
think
want
that's
to
how it's
transition.
typically spelled, isn't it?
Yeah, you can go to your scenes and maybe give it some name.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, is
No
that
space. Make
no
sure you don't
space?
have a space.
Again, how you know
Perfect.
these things, you just go to scripts and check.
And save. Don't forget to save the scene. And one last thing to do, we need to go into build settings and make sure we add this open scene. So file, build settings.
File up in the very top in the menu, file, yeah. File, up. On the very top where the file, edit, assets, game object menus are. Yep. Build settings. Yes. You just want to make sure you add your both scenes into the same build settings. Yeah.
And then just click add open scenes.
Add open scenes.
It's up a little bit, quite a bit.
Up. Yeah, that's the one.
Good. And now we can go to the other scene. You may want to make sure just before we do anything else. Well, no, it's not. We'll figure that out. All right, so close this window. And now we'll hop into your other scene and do the exact same steps again. So file.
And guys, remember this build settings command because we're going to show you today how to make your scene into VR. And that's pretty much the same menu that we use.
Yep, perfect. And now we can head back into the maze scene and hit play and see if we can get through it.
Okay, so play, get the player to touch that box.
Did we? No, we didn't. Okay, we forgot a step. Make sure we have to make the cube a trigger.
No, he is in the different cube. I think he actually
Nope.
added everything to the other
He
one.
added it to the right one. We just didn't make the cube a trigger.
Oh, right.
So click on the box. So go over to the inspector. Inspector, it's on the right. And down. Box collider is trigger.
Yeah. In the box collider.
There we go. Now let's try it again.
Again. Hey, good
Voila.
job, buddy. Yeah. So you get it now, right, Lucas?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was very good demonstration. And like I always say, once you repeat something, it actually sticks better in your memory. Okay, good job, buddy. Thank you. Okay, next, Zachary. You ready to go next? And after Zachary, we'll have Nathan. So Nathan, go ready, get ready. And after that, Edward.
Hello.
Go ahead, share your screen.
Okay, give me a sec.
I'm not letting anyone easily off the hook, guys. So if you didn't do it, we'll do it together.
This is
Oh, wow, look at that.
an obstacle course. The player cannot jump because I don't know how to do that. But this is like an obstacle course we have to move.
Yeah,
There's multiple things and tricks.
cool. And you use the animation to do those, right?
Yeah,
Good
I
job.
couldn't really figure out the animation, but now I kind of figured it out already.
Yeah, you're pretty good. Look at that. Actually created the entire game. Wow, good job. You did everything we asked for. Thank you so much.
It didn't work until I kind of saw what happened, what you guys did, so I did it.
So did you rewatch the video to find all those ones?
No, I don't know how to get to the video. I just
Oh,
watched
you
what
just added it as we were walking Armand and looking through. Oh, cool.
Perfect. Thank you very
Perfect.
much.
And you even used the asset store and added trees. I love it. Thank you so much. Good job, Zachary. Yeah, awesome.
I want the camera to follow though.
I'll talk about that later.
Yeah, he's gonna show it today. Yeah, perfect. Okay, and so Nathan, you're next. Go ahead, share your screen.
So here's the thing about my project. So I tried to make an enemy, but I worked like the whole day on it. But then there was a problem that I couldn't fix.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
Go ahead, share your screen, and this
So
is your
then-
opportunity.
The thing is that I didn't really have any other
That's okay, but if you,
I would rather see you guys try something advanced and get stuck and not quite succeed than follow exactly what we say to the letter. I
yeah,
want to see you guys take risks and do cool things. So
yeah.
let's see what we have and let's see if we can figure out your problem.
Perfect.
thing is that I kind of deleted it.
Oh,
Aw. Why would you? This was your chance to get help.
Because I tried to
Oh,
make something else after,
deleting
so
and deleting and
it
deleting
didn't
and
work.
deleting and deleting. Why is it always people just deleting?
that's all right.
What is happening?
I understand, Nathan. That's all right. That's all right.
Okay, Nathan, but you think you can actually add that transition now that you saw how we did it? You're good
Yeah.
on that? Yeah? Okay, well, I've seen your advanced projects, so I'm pretty confident in how you can do it. So yeah, let's move on then. Ezra?
Okay. I really didn't want to. My game, I tried not making it a transitioning one. It was literally just a game that you just play one-on-one.
Perfect.
That's okay, yeah. And so Max, you'll go ahead next. So Ezra, go ahead, share your screen.
So here's my game, but I could not get it to run because it always just gives me this exact thing. Keeps
All
doing
right.
that.
Let's go take a
Fix
look at the errors. PC2?
Yeah, these I don't know where they are though. Like I can't find them.
So lines 8 and 26. Okay. Let's go take a look at the script.
It's loading slowly.
Okay. Ooh. You are very, very close. So you see your opening, actually, hold on. Line 8.
Yeah.
Kill line 8.
Huh? Okay. Just like that.
And wait, no, get rid of the actual curly brace on line 8. That was on
Oh.
line 8. Yeah. And we also want to get to the, so on line 5, you have an opening curly brace and a closing curly brace. We want to get rid of the closing one. There we go. And if I'm looking correctly, that should be all of them.
Yeah, when you guys attempt to actually add any curly brace or the figure braces, the visual code automatically puts the next pair next to it, right? So make sure not to miss it and actually cut it and paste where you intended to close. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Did you
let's
save
try
that?
to.
Yeah, it's
don't
not
forget to
saved.
save.
It wasn't saved. Yeah.
Oh yes, yes. Save. Saving.
And the star next to the name of your file name actually shows that you didn't save it.
Oh, that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Most programs do that.
Yes.
Even Word will do that
Even
in like the
Lego
title bar.
UV does it. Yeah.
I did not know where it does that.
Yeah.
Now, if my controls work, it's only giving me one. Oh, where's the second player? Oh, no, my camera's broken. My
There
camera's
was
in the
some
wrong position.
shadows.
My camera's in the wrong position. Oops.
Okay, align, Mr. Just realign it.
File. Oops. Where is that one?
Okay, team. So Khalid is good, right?
Yeah.
Khalid, yeah. So Khalid, the next is Max, and then it's your turn. So get ready there. Okay.
I'm just gonna. I'm just looking where my project went because it disappeared. I'm just gonna.
Okay, yeah.
What?
Find it.
It was just there a second ago.
Yeah, I can get the second player to run though. He's not. It doesn't run though. That's the thing. Second
Did
player.
you guys-
Can
Is it-
you go ahead and click on the second player for me? Or yeah.
He's second player. Player number 2. This one.
Okay. It doesn't have any components on it.
Yeah, it does. It
Oh.
has
It's speed 0. In particular, it's speed 0 and its character controller is empty.
character controller. How do you? What do you? What's put in?
Drag the cube into the controller slot.
I.
Drag the object that you want to control with that screen,
Oh.
right?
Yeah, and then just drag it in.
Into the controller box. Into the one that says none.
Into the no. Grab the cube again
Okay.
and drag it into the controller slot.
Where it says none.
Up,
character
up, nope, down a little,
It says none.
down, right there.
Save.
Now you can save and play. This isn't going to quite work as expected, though.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can get this guy to work. As long as they work. Oh, that's how they work. Okay.
Yeah.
They 2 players want to work oppositely. How do I get them to work like one is controlled by the arrows, one is controlled by W, S, and D?
Yeah. So there's 2 ways to go about doing this. I'm going to show you the proper way of doing it because it's going to be the easiest in this particular case. I want you to go into Edit.
So, Edit.
Project Settings.
Project Settings.
Input Manager, sorry. It's like the 4th one down from the top.
Okay.
Axes. Change that from 18 to 20.
20.
Perfect. Now open up horizontal. It should be the first one. And where it says, do you want player 1 to be WASD or?
Yeah, player 1 would be the WAS and D.
Okay, perfect. So where it says left and right, I want you to click on them and then just hit like the space bar or hit the backspace. Yeah, backspace, and then same with the positive button. Good, and now we have to do the very similar thing with the vertical axis.
Vertical axis.
Yeah. Perfect. And
Oh.
now we can close that.
Okay.
And scroll, yep, all the way down to the bottom. And we should see cancel 3 times.
Yeah.
So not the first cancel, but the second cancel is the one we want.
Okay.
Name this to horizontal 2.
For the second player.
Capital H.
Oh.
Make sure it's spelled H-O-R-I horizontal. Yep, and then the number 2 at the very end.
2.
Good. For the negative button, put left.
We put.
Not on cancel. We want. Yeah.
So we still need to edit horizontal 2. So go ahead, open horizontal 2.
Okay.
And for the positive button, put left with a capital L, I think.
Let's just go make sure that was right.
We deleted that.
Right.
Here, I have Unity open my end, and I'll make sure. Input manager, Raxes, horizontal. Nope, it's lowercase.
Yeah.
Lowercase L. So left, and then for the alt negative, we want to, hold on. The negative button we want to be left, and the positive button we want to be right. Otherwise, the controls are going to be inverted.
Okay.
Yeah. And we don't need any of the alt buttons. We're going to want to make sure that the rest of these fields are the same as for the horizontal axis.
Okay, so.
Just scroll up and open up the horizontal axis, and we can compare field by field.
So.
Wrong horizontal.
Oh. Horizontal. This is the wrong.
Yeah, that's the one we want. So we have 3 for gravity, 0.001 for dead. So dead is good. Gravity we want to put to 3.
3.
And sensitivity, let's make sure that's correct.
Back at 1000, and this one is at 3.
Okay.
So
and then we just want to make sure the check boxes and other things are correct. Yep, they do appear to be. Oh, was snap turned on?
Yeah, it's on this one. It's snaps turned on.
Cool. And for cancel, for the next cancel down, we want this to be vertical 2, and it's going to be the exact same process, but we're going to be mirroring the vertical axis. Don't forget a capital V at the start.
Do we have? Oh, yeah, we do.
And then for the negative button, we want to put down, lowercase d, and for the positive button, up, lowercase u.
Oh,
and
the ups, lowercase, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's going to be the same fields as before. So we want gravity and sensitivity to be 3. But instead of being an x-axis, I think we want it. Let's actually go check. Make sure that it is x-axis. It might be y-axis though, that it says.
Yeah, it says x-axis.
Oh, it's x-axis. Perfect. So then I think we're ready to go. You may want to get rid of like the joystick button 1 as a alt negative button or alt positive button on both of them, but it doesn't make a difference. You're not using a game controller.
Yeah, I'll just keep them.
Cool. So you can close this window now.
Yeah, I'll just keep it going. These closed, so it's nice and tidy.
Sure.
Close that.
And now open up PC2.
PC2.
And lines 18, 19, change it from horizontal and vertical to horizontal 2 and vertical 2.
Vertical 2.
Control S. And let's test it out.
Okay. The loading sign. Okay. Let's test these. Oh, where is this guy going to go? Oh, which way do these guys want to go? Let's see. Why aren't they moving? Oh, I have them backwards. I have the I had the controls backwards. Okay, let's reset that. I got the wrong controls on these guys. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Okay. So you can play with that and fine tune it and make sure it's like good and fine on your own time. But now you understand how we can go about messing with the input.
Yes.
And this works for everything. This input manager is all powerful. It will do keyboard and mouse. It will also do game pads. And if you happen to want to be developing for VR, it can also handle VR. You have to configure it yourself in some kind of odd ways, but it will also handle that.
Yeah, it's a more advanced tool, but thank you, Riley, for showing that. Great. Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Next.
Excellent. Next, Max.
Me?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Can I just ask a question before I show mine?
Sure.
Like to everyone? Does anyone here know Minecraft? Anyone here like Minecraft?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Are you actually asking this question?
Yes, I am.
It's kind of the most obvious question there is.
Oh, no.
Minecraft is the best game in the world.
Okay, one sec. I'm just
Oh,
looking for
wow.
Oh my! Whoa.
No, that
That
was
was actual Minecraft.
that was actual Minecraft.
That was actually.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
sorry, no.
Bedrock, cobblestone, dirt, grass.
Yeah, those are just some textures. So I couldn't figure out how to get multiple textures onto grass. So it's just a solid green, but like you can break and place. And then
Minecraft.
for
The cave games.
and then when you break cobblestone, if you look at the console down at the bottom.
Yeah, you transition to new scene, right?
Nice. That's really cool.
And then it just moves to my next scene. And then this block, when you walk into it, it starts particles.
Okay, that's really cool.
Good job. Awesome.
I'm super impressed.
Yeah. Excellent.
I like the lighting on that final plane with like different in all the corners.
Yeah, so I was actually working on that for a while, but I just made it so I just copied and pasted the snowman scene and then just did the transition stuff.
Good job. Good job. Thank you so much, Max. We're always happy to see something new, right? Okay, excellent. And Khalid, you go next. And Andrew, Adam, and Tyrone. Those three in that order, but get ready.
Okay, just a sec. Okay. I made a maze. Yeah.
Nice. And our mom is giving you the sound background. Is vocalizing.
I'm just gonna do the like proper way right now. Like I'm not gonna go the other ways.
Did anyone try to add sounds to the project?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Good job. Hey, there you go. You transition from one thing to another one. Good. Excellent.
Brilliant.
Yay, and you got the particles. Awesome. Good job, Khalid. Excellent.
Super great.
Nicely done. Yeah, and you have a bonus there. Good job. Excellent. And Andrew, next. Unmute your mic, please. We don't hear you.
I wasn't at the last meeting, so I don't have anything for it. So yeah.
Okay, but all the videos are always uploaded. So even if you missed it, like try to actually watch it on YouTube and try to get it done, right?
Okay.
Pretty super fun things to do, and this is your chance to get help if you get stuck, right? Okay, but so, nothing I can do. Then let's move on to Adam.
I think Adam might have had some issue as well.
Is he the one who had issues with PC? Yeah, he says yes.
Yeah,
Might be-
he had to move to a different machine.
Right. So Adam, do you have any Unity project that you can actually open, show, and we can just walk you through to add the transition, like similar to what we did to Arman, or on the new machine you don't have anything? This PC
The PC doesn't have Unity.
Okay. Well, sorry to hear that. Well, the good news is that you still have access to all the videos. So I highly, highly recommend going on and rewatching it and actually following it and doing something. With the beauty of the video, guys, you can pause it, you can play it, rewind it, and actually replay it, right? So even if you didn't get it with the instructor in the class, you don't get it, you don't get it. But with the video, you have an opportunity to go back and actually replay it, right? So yeah, so next, Tyron. What about you?
Tyrone has also had some issues, but I do think we are still going to take a look at it. He had some issues with a script.
Okay, go ahead, share your screen.
Is there somewhere we can post our games? That's an interesting question, Nathan. I'm hoping to address that a little bit later, right after we're done with Tyrone. Well, towards the end of getting done with Tyrone. Let's see. What have you done? Ooh.
Oh.
Oh my.
The rest
Okay.
of the lines definitely tells there are some errors.
So input.touch. Are you trying to get this to work on a mobile device?
Tyron, can you please unmute your microphone?
No, Tyrone's mic's broken.
Oh, I see.
Okay, I see. I've never actually done this before, but I can try and help you out with it. Okay, so the first thing is you have a closing curly brace on line 22.
In the beginning of the line.
On the beginning of that line. It should really be on line 23. So delete it, and then put it on 23. Open it again. Good, perfect. So there's that. Input, so touch. You probably want to change that from an equal sign on line 22, sorry, from a plus sign to an equal sign, I guess. Okay.
He needs a curly brace on line 45.
Okay, yep, we need a bunch of curly braces at the end too. So yeah, you need, you're gonna nope, wrong way. Just a closing one. And in fact, you're going to need a closing one on the next line.
And under.
Not exactly what I meant, but it works. And on line 47 as well. Yeah, perfect. And the last thing we need is tilt speed modifier. You haven't said what that is. I'm guessing it should be a float. So right under where it says, so on line 14, I guess, write float and then tilt speed modifier. And semicolon. And now, line 42, you're missing an S in the first occurrence of transform. There we go.
Well, good job, Riley. That was fast. You have an eye for all the errors.
I've been doing this a while.
Yeah, good job.
Okay, but you said your maze got deleted because you didn't save it. Do you have anything you can test the script out in? No. Okay, that's fine. It would probably be pretty hard to test on a computer anyways if you didn't have a mobile device.
Yeah, but at least
That's
we have the working script now, right?
hopefully a working script. I can't
Hopefully.
talk
You have to
about
test it.
the correctness of the logic, but at least it should compile.
Yeah.
I hope. Okay, that's
okay.
fine.
Well, good job, everyone. Hope we actually were able to help you. And so those gaps that you had, hopefully this session, this presentation sessions actually aim to close those gaps. So, and hopefully we did a good job on that. And Riley certainly did a great job. And yeah, I guess we can go ahead now. It's 1:59. You guys want to take maybe a couple minutes break before we start, or go to the washroom, grab a water or something? And Riley have a lot of things he want to share. So yeah.
Boy, do I ever.
So let's just do a 3 minutes break, okay? 3 minutes break, and 2:02 we'll be back. Mhm. Yeah, and at the meantime, Riley, you can start sharing your screen or.
Yeah. Ugh. So, the next hour or so, I want to cover two broad things, or kind of the same thing, mainly addressing. So you have the beginnings of a game. You have something you can play. It has a goal at the end. You have something.
Mhm.
Where do you go from here? And there's two ways I want to take that. The first way is you have the bare bones framework of a game, but how do you actually make it feel gamey? And how do you make it feel fun? So that's the first thing. The next thing I want to talk about is, so suppose you had a finished game that you wanted to show off to someone. How do you go about getting it out of Unity so you can give it to someone else? We'll talk about that. I'll talk a little bit about publishing as well, Nathan. I don't have anywhere you can put it. All of the services I've found for publishing games that are of any repute have in their terms of service that any of their publishers need to be 18 years or older. I will definitely mention these places, but they aren't for you necessarily.
You can also, yeah, you can, if Riley recommends it in a safe place, you can ask your parents into creating an account, right? And posting it.
You can have your parents upload your games if you want. It's just as long as you have someone over 18 who's like has the account and everything, that's fine. So
yeah,
you can talk with them. You can get that hooked up.
So those are the two things I want to talk about a little bit, and there's other things that are going to go into this, like camera control and whatnot, and also just some other tools that Unity has that we didn't get in time to focus on. It's going to be a bit of a lightning round.
Okay, 202.
All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is this notion of game feel. Who has heard of the term game feel or juice before? If anyone.
Is that the technical term?
Yes, juice is the technical term. No one? Okay, let me demonstrate. So a little while ago, I put together this very, very simple scene. This scene has no juice to it. If it'll play. Come on. There we go. So it's a very simple scene. You can go around. You can shoot these little green laser blasts, I guess. And a couple shots takes out any of these enemies. It's not a bad scene. It works. It has an objective, and it has something to do, but it doesn't feel good, and it doesn't look great either. It's just kind of there. So what we can do is we can do some very subtle things. And I'll talk about the things that I've done as I go through them to take this exact same scene and these exact same mechanics and make them feel better. This is what we talk about when we mean juice or game feel. So, now there's a lot more going on. You can see the bare bonesness is the exact same. I'm just going around, hopefully shooting these targets. But there's a little bit more going on. First of all, things are getting blurred in the distance a little bit. Things seem to glow a little bit more. I have a bit of a motion blur going on when I look around. When I shoot, the camera shakes a bit. My bolts in particular look quite a bit better with this particle system coming off of them. It gives them much more of a feel of flying away. If we look closely, when a bullet hits a target, there's a flash of what could almost be sparks. So it's little things like this that I've added, mostly from the same source, that improve the feel of the game. So that's the idea behind game feel. So the question is, how did I achieve this? What did I use to achieve this? Well, we've already seen one of the things that I used, particle systems. Not a lot of particle systems, very careful use of the particle systems, but particle systems nonetheless to make it just feel a bit better. I also implemented a bit of a camera shake. I'm not going to talk about that because it's certainly more technical and involved to write the script to get it to work correctly. So I don't want to talk about that, but what I do want to talk about is how I got these lighting effects, how it's blurred a little bit, the motion blur, and the this like glowing effect on bright spots. What we do is we use something called the Unity post-processing stack. So if you go under Window, and then you find this one called Package Manager, and open it up, you get to this window here. Let's do that. So we get this here. This is a list of installed and available packages that are built into Unity, but you kind of have to activate as you're going along. The one that I've used for most of the effects in my game feel scene is this one here. It's called post-processing. If you want to install it, there'll be an install button down here. If I go and pick one of the ones that I don't have, we can see what the button looks like. I've already installed it because it can take a little moment to get it up and running, but this is post-processing. And it lets us apply effects to our camera after it's already seen everything in the scene. So it like overlays it on top of everything. The way we do this is we go to our main camera and we want to add, the component we want to add is a post-processing layer, I do believe. And set the layer to everything. You're gonna get a warning about it, but don't worry about that. So now that we have the post-processing layer, we can come over here and we can create under 3D object, you get a new one called post-processing volume. That's one of the things you want to do. And then you have to make sure you check the is global button. And then finally, where it says profile, just click new. Once you have all that done, you've now set up to be able to use post-processing, you can go start adding effects. For example, if I go ahead and add bloom, like this, oops, a bloom effect, and then I go ahead and let's turn down the directional light a little bit. And I'm going to create a new, let's create a sphere. Reset the transform on this. And materials, glowing orb. And we're going to give you a light component with the correct color. There we go. So we have a nice glowing orb. So that's how it looks. Now if I play, if I've done this correctly, I said play. There we go. And if I turn up the intensity of the bloom, nope. Oh my goodness, something's working. Threshold 0.8. There we go. Got to turn on the threshold a little bit. We can see everything's kind of getting a bit of a glow, but especially this orb is getting a lot of glow. If I turn up the intensity a little bit to 4, oops, daisies, 34 is a little bit high. And you can fiddle around with these numbers. Threshold is how much something has to be glowing for it to pick up. And if I increase it even more to say 9, we can see the ball is definitely picking up a stronger glow. If I go to 20, whoop, big glowing orb. So you have to be a little bit judicious in your use of bloom. 4 with an intensity of 0.9. It's probably a little bit good for me. There we go. And so that's the bloom effect. It makes things glowier. The other thing that we can add is a little bit of motion blur. When things move, they get blurred. And I'll probably have to turn this up quite a bit. Ooh. Let's see. Oops, daisy, wrong button. So now we should see, as my player character moves around, a little bit of a blur. There we go. So it's subtle. It's definitely a little bit subtle. But you can see a little bit of blur going on that's not there if I turn this effect off. Maybe not. Maybe I'm lying about that. No, there's definitely some visible motion blur when I have it turned on, but it's subtle. It's very, very subtle. If I turn up the sample count, that's probably going to decrease the motion blur. So if I make you like 3, yeah, that's definitely blurring quite a bit. Okay. So that's motion blur. It works a little bit better when you have a moving camera and not a stationary camera. There's a bunch of other effects as well. Maybe I'll link to a video that goes through all of them if you guys are interested, because there's far more than I feel comfortable covering in the time we have left. But if you have specific questions about them, I'd be happy to hear them. So, questions about post-processing effects or adding game feel? No one has any questions? Okay, well, if you guys got all of that, cool. So, there are some other handy tools that are in the same package manager. In particular, we have Pro Builder, which, if you use Blender, kind of adds Blender-like tools to Unity. It helps us build shapes that Unity doesn't have. Pro Grids is a preview package, so you have to go under advanced and then show preview packages to be able to see it. But ProGrids helps us line things up, and you'll notice that it's kind of in my background with this grid here. So if you want to get things nice and aligned and sticking together, ProGrids is really useful. ProGrids and ProBuilder together make it really quick and easy to prototype out a level without having to use any external tools. I'll show them in a bit, but I just wanted to mention them. The next one that I really want to show you guys is if you scroll up, and you don't need preview packages turned on to see this one, it's called Cinemachine. Cinemachine is a tool for creating cameras in the scene. It has a lot of power. One of the things it does is it lets us right away go ahead and create a third-person camera for a character that just works. So if I go under Cinemachine, so once I've installed Cinemachine, I get a new tab up at the top here, or a new menu up at the top here called Cinemachine. I go click on Cinemachine and I say create free look camera. I get this new thing and a little gizmo appears next to my camera. I'm not going to be touching this main camera at all anymore. Everything I want to do with the camera is going to be happening in this free look camera. So the first thing I need to do is tell the camera what I want it to look at and what I want it to follow. In both cases, I want it to follow the player as well as look at my player. Now, if I hop into game view, I'm going to see these grid lines. This is how I can get positioning information about my camera. If I wanted to look over the shoulder, I should be able to click and drag these things, but maybe I'm wrong about that. That's fine. The other thing to consider are these three rings. So our camera is going to be able to move between any of these three rings as our player moves around. We can do these by messing with these rigs here. Come on, where's the button I'm looking for? It's been a while since I last used, no, here it is. The orbits are what we want to be doing. We can change the height of them. So if I wanted to move this bottom rig down, I can do that. Say I want it at 0. The middle rig should probably be only at 1. And this one can definitely be at 3. There we go. And I probably want to make this one a little bit wider, 1.5. And we'll see what the rigs do for us in just a second. And make you 2 and make you 3.3. Yeah, there we go. That should be fine. This should be fine. Okay, cool. So now if I take off the game guides and I go ahead and play the game, we're going to see something very, very different as to what we've seen before. Hopefully. Yes, here we go. We now have a camera that I can use to look around my player with my mouse. I can move it up and down, and it's just a good third-person camera. And we can really start to see the motion blur now. Now, because our character isn't actually moving, when I'm behind it and I press the W key, I don't move in the direction you'd expect. Oh, that's a lot of motion blur. Great way to get seasick.
It's really getting blurry.
So it'll follow around the character. Let's go. Whoa. There we go. Particle effects. Whee. Oops. So yeah, I might want to turn down the motion blur if I was actually doing this. And we also notice that my camera is in real close with the character. That's what these rigs are about. So it moves between the top, bottom, and middle rig. I'm noticing that I need these to be way farther out. So I'm going to go ahead and double all of these radii. So this could be 6.6, and this can be a 4. There we go. Nice and zoom that out. And so it renders what's in the blue area, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. Let's see. There we go. So we can also leave the guides on in game view to just look around. And now I have a decent character controller, or not a decent way to have my camera follow what I want. Now, Cinemachine is far more powerful than just this. It can be used to solve all of your camera needs. It's a very, very powerful tool that I have only just been able to touch on, but for people who wanted a camera following their character or following whatever, Cinemachine does a brilliant job at this. So a freely look camera lets you look around freely like this. There's also just plain old virtual camera, which is like the free look camera, but doesn't let you look around with the mouse. So if you just wanted to have it following and stay in the same position, a virtual camera is great for that. Dolly camera with track. If you've ever seen like how to set up a movie, you have like these tracks, or how people go about filming a movie, you have like these tracks on the ground with a camera on it that can move, that can slide along and then turn around. That's what a dolly camera with a track is. You can lay out a predefined path that you want your camera to slide along. So this would be great if you're doing a cutscene, or I guess if you're doing a side scroller, it wouldn't be terribly bad either. So there's a bunch of these that you can make use of. So that's Cinemachine. What about a first-person view? Okay, first-person view is just extraordinarily easy because we just need to make our main camera a child of our player. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off this free look camera, and I'm going to disable the Cinemachine brain component of my camera, and I will go ahead and make it a child of my player, and then I will reset its transform. And now, if I go ahead and play, first-person character, woo! Still can't look around, but that's just a problem of not being able to turn my character. If I could do that, everything would be fine. These boxes are a lot bigger in person. So yeah, so that's how you do a first-person character. And I can walk through the door and then try and get around and see my closed door. Woo, closed door. So yeah, that's how you do a first-person character. Third-person characters are harder because of the need to get them to move around. Yep. There we go. Questions? No questions about Cinemachine? I haven't done either post-processing or Cinemachine justice. They're far more powerful than what I have led you to believe, but I just wanted to introduce you to them. The next one I want to talk about is ProBuilder. So again, that's a window, package manager. Pardon?
Say I wanted to make mine with my two-person game. There's each person is in first person. How do you make the screen a split screen?
Split screen.
Yeah.
I have an idea for how you might be able to do that.
Okay.
But I've never tried it.
Can you click on the main camera?
Yep.
Is there an... I don't know. I just searched up some stuff. There's like a way that you can make it so the viewport of your camera shows up on like a selected part. Do you know how to change the viewport? Hold up.
So what you can do is you can have it, instead of render to the screen, render to a texture. Is that what you're talking about?
No, like
Oh
on
wait, no,
the
here. Sorry. Oh, here. Do you see the part that says viewport react? Like the part with like the dimensions X, Y, W.
Yeah, viewport rect.
You can make one of them have like either width 0.5 or height 0.5, and you have two cameras and they should go side by side.
And then if I create a new camera, create a camera, and I'm probably going to want to not be using this. Okay, well maybe let's keep that. So this camera.
Do also 0.5 height, and then I think you can just change the Y to 0.5 also. So it like changes the
5 and 0.5.
Wait, are you doing did you change the other ones H or W?
Good question.
Look on main camera. Okay, you changed W. So in that case, you make X 0.5 on the other one.
Ah, that makes more sense.
Okay, and then give that a try. Let's see. But that seems like it's actually pretty easy. Is that two separate cameras?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think have one that's pointing straight at the ground or something.
No, that's it's the free look camera.
Oh, can you still free look?
Give it a second. Oh, it is playing.
Oh yeah, you're loaded in. Yeah, okay. If you're doing it with the cameras that you have, Ajwad, in your game, like if you put a camera on each of your characters, it should work pretty well like that.
Okay, I'm gonna try that right now.
So yeah, again, under the part where it like says the width and height, if you want to do it top bottom, you change the height to 0.5. If you want to do side by side, you do width 0.5. Try to move around. Let's see if the other one also moves. Yeah, there you go, double angle. That's kind of cool.
You learn something new every day, and then I went to a different scene. Fascinating. Thank you, Tim.
Awesome. There you go.
I've never had to do that before.
If you're doing local multiplayer, I think that's really handy.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I actually kind of like that for this scene, because, yeah, wow.
That's
really happy with that. Okay. Are there other questions?
Actually, my thing didn't work how yours worked.
So you have two cameras.
Here, let me show you. What happened.
Yeah, let him share his screen. We can try to do it. Do you want to talk about Nathan's question? He wants to make an AI.
AI is not as conceptually complex as it first appears, but is still a rather strong challenge. So is it Ajwad who's sharing right now?
Yeah.
So you want to not change the height to
Yeah. Do you want them side by side or top bottom?
Side by side.
Okay.
So then make your height to 1.
Sorry.
Height is 1.
Height 1. Yeah, there you go. And then
make sure your X is 0.5.
X.
Second camera set height also to 1, and then X is 0.5.
X is 0.5, and then main camera would just be
set the
leave that as 0, and then set the height to also 1.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
No worries.
You can attach them as children onto the players, and then it'll follow.
I'm going to do.
Yeah. Okay. AI. I don't have a good quick answer for AI. So all you want to do for AI, all AI is about is specifying in code a particular goal or how a goal is to be reached. As maybe a quick example, I can, for example, create a another capsule. And go ahead and create a C# script. I'm going to call this simple follow. And I want to move the capsule out of the ground, please. And on my capsule, I'm also going to go ahead and create.
Do you want to share your screen?
Whoops, daisies. Yes, I do. I thought I already was. So used to that. Okay, so all I've done is I've created a capsule that has a character controller component on it, and I've made a simple follow script that I haven't edited yet, and I'm attaching that as a component. So as a very, very simple way to do an AI, what I might do, and I'm going to blast through this, but as an example of how you can write a very simple AI and how AI in its essence isn't very complicated, but can become so rather quickly, what I can do is I can grab a reference to a character controller, and then I can also grab a reference to a transform. Remember, transforms store position information, and call this the target. And then I can do a vector 3. Oh, I also want a float called speed. And I can call this the move direction is equal to, I happen to know that if I subtract 2 positions from one another, I get the direction in which they're facing. So I can do transform, I can do target dot position. Vector is A to B.
I'm still perfecting my game.
I can do target dot
Then me and others will play against each other.
position minus transform dot position dot normalized. So what this is going to do is it's going to tell me what direction I need to move to get towards my target. And then I can say controller dot simple move in the move direction at whatever speed we want to be moving at. So that's the entirety of the script there.
Not if they play along.
And now if I give this a play, and I don't need the script to be understood, I want to demonstrate how simple it can be to get a very, very basic AI up and running. I can take the capsule and put that in as my controller and have my player in as my target. And now if I go ahead and play, if I've done this correctly, I also need to, whoops.
You're still split screen.
Yeah, I need to make the speed public. Otherwise, it's not going to move. You should not be playing right now. Unity. I know you don't like me doing so many things at once, Unity. I'm in a hurry, though. So we'll make the speed 2, let's say. So this is very, very similar to the character controller, but instead of getting the direction from the player's input, it's getting the direction from wherever I am. And now, no matter where I move to, it's going to move towards me. Should be rather easy to escape by heading through the door. It's not a very smart AI.
That's pretty cool. Can you share that script with them?
Sure, I can share the script. That's not a problem.
And just guys, want to let you know that all the coders have their own library of codes, right? So whatever you find or write any cool code, just make sure you save it in some secret folder on your computer, so that next time you don't have to spend time actually typing it. You just grab it, use it, edit it, modify it, and adjust it to your new conditions, right?
There. So not hard to write an AI, but writing an AI that would figure out how to get around that door, that's a little bit trickier. Unity has some tools to help with that specific one, namely with pathfinding. But if you want to make your AI smarter, it quickly becomes more and more challenging to write the code for that.
And it's more advanced stuff, yeah. And we only have 25 minutes left, so.
So I hope that kind of starts to answer your question a little bit.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Riley. And now, before we go forward, I want to ask you guys, how many of you have actual VR sets at home? Virtual reality, girls?
Does anyone have virtual reality at home?
Another cool feature that Unity supports is actually you can turn your game into VR game, right? And you basically already learned all the programming part for it. So now we just need to show you the final step, how big your project to actually work for VR, right?
So I need to cover one thing quickly before I cover doing VR.
Okay, sure.
It's just gonna make things easier.
Yeah, we just have 25 minutes left.
Yeah, no, I know. So I'm going to skip on to showing you guys ProBuilder and ProGrids. There's tons of brilliant tutorials online for them. You get them through the package manager in the exact same way as you get it. ProGrids is really easy to use. ProBuilder, follow a tutorial because there's a lot of buttons that are involved, but it's also not hard to use once you see how it's working. So we've talked about game feel. We've talked about building your different components in and how we do these different things. Now, suppose you had a game and you want to share it with friends or publish it somewhere. This is really easy to do. If you go File and Build Settings, so this menu again, what we can do, there's a handful of options here. This first one is going to build, so when we build a game, we get only what we need. It builds it into, on Windows, a .exe file, as well as an associated folder, so that when you run the .exe file, you get a game at the end. And I'm gonna go hit this build button as we keep going through, just to talk about, because it takes a little moment and I want to demonstrate it. Yeah, so we're gonna hit build. And then you need to pick a folder you want to build to. I'm going to go to my desktop and create a new folder, new folder, and call this Winter 2020 Build Demo.
You want to make sure the scenes that in your game are there and selected, right?
Yeah, and so then I select the folder, and it's going to go. Now, a couple of things to talk about. The first thing is, when you start up the game, it's going to start into the scene whichever one is listed first in this list that has a check mark next to it. Then, if you have a way to get to your other scenes, you have to make sure that they're in this list and also have the check mark next to them. So you can only include some scenes in a build, all of them, whatever you need. But they have to be in this list and they have to have check marks next to them when you hit the build button. Then it's going to go through this entire process of building it, which can definitely take a minute and takes longer the bigger your game is. So then we can talk about platforms. So this first one, PC, Mac, and Linux, it builds an executable file on whatever computer you're currently on. So if you're on a Windows computer, you're going to get a Windows executable, and it can run on any Windows machine. If you're on a Mac, likewise, if you have to be on Linux, likewise again. It builds only for Windows. If you're on Windows and you build a file and you build your game and then pass it off to someone who, a friend who's on a Mac, won't work with them. You have to build it on a Mac if you want it to work on Macs. So that's the default platform. The other next big platform is WebGL. If you do that, you're going to be building you get a web page is what comes out. So if you want to put your game up on a website that they can play in a web browser, WebGL is the best option there. As we scroll down, we can see a bunch of other options. The PS4 and Xbox One aren't going to work so well. You have to buy what's called a development kit from either Xbox or PlayStation. And those can be rather expensive to get. So I recommend not playing around with those, but Unity can, in theory, take care of those. And then we also have iOS and Android. So if you want to be building for a mobile device or a cell phone with a touchscreen and whatnot, those are the options you want. Again, iOS, you have to be on a Mac to get that one to work. Android, you can be on whatever device and it'll build for Android. And you just get a plain old game to put on a phone. So that's how we can go about building. As you can see, it definitely takes a good long minute for it to build. I want to show you, I'm doing this now to show you the steps that are involved, but also I want to show you the end product. So that, because there's not just a single file you get at the end to share with people. So now if I open up my folder, yep, so it already opened up in a folder for me. And there's a bunch of different things in here. Everything in this folder is what you need to send it off to someone. You need to send them all of these, and they have to be just like this when they go to play. To play, it's just this one right here, the name of your project.exe. If you double click on that, you get the game, full screen, with no real way to edit it, or sorry, exit it. And then you can move to your other scene as it works. If you hit Alt-Tab, you can definitely exit out that way. Unless you build in a quit button, it's not going to have a built-in quit button, unfortunately. But that's how you build. Questions about building?
How do they add the quit button?
How do you add a quit button? I've never done that before. I've never actually had need to add a quit button. I'm sure there's like a here, give me a second.
How do you exit?
I just Alt Tab and then hit X on it. Alt F4 will also quit anything in Windows. Here we go.
And actually, can you really show them how they find the information? Like this is very good
yeah.
example, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's
Like, because after this class, you guys are on your own and you want to know where and how to look for information for more tutorials, right?
So, how do we find this? I'm just going to say Unity quit game. I'm just going to Google that. This first one looks pretty helpful. I'm going to click on that. And then, let's see. Quits the player application. Yep, that sounds good. Shut down the running application. The application.quit is ignored in the editor. Handy. Very handy. And, so if I want to do it on the escape key, I can just do this bit of code. Sure, I'll go ahead and grab all of that. Just copy that. Hop back into Unity. Scripts. I guess I'll put this in my player controller. And I will paste. And it should work if I were to rebuild my game. Because of the way we have to build, every time I make a change, I have to rebuild the whole game and go through the whole process again, which is why we only tend to build at the very end. But now it should work.
Yeah, but you guys get the idea, right? So he found it really quickly. He actually adapted it to his project, and he just needs to rebuild if he wants to go and.
Because as we saw.
But if you play here and press the escape button, it should just show that it works, right?
Well, no, because it's ignored in the editor.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's building and quitting. Now I want to show you VR.
Yeah.
VR is super easy once you understand how building works. So we go edit, project settings, and then we go down to the very bottom, XR plugin management. Oh, this is new. We need to install the plugin. We can also go through the package manager to get this. And this might take a little moment. Yep. In older versions of Unity, this just came built in, but with the new package management system, they've moved a bunch of things out and you have to go get them separately. Like Cinemachine, like post-processing, like XR plugin development. A note on XR, they call it XR because this will handle both VR like Oculus or HTC Vive, but it'll also deal with augmented reality. So if you have like an iPhone with the two cameras and you have the AR there, it'll work. If you have the Windows Microsoft HoloLens, it'll do that as well. So you can go ahead and pretty much just leave this once you have it installed. You just want the initialize XR on startup. You might need to click on Oculus for, yeah, definitely click on the ones. Apparently Vive isn't being supported anymore. I don't know. It might work with Vive. I haven't used it in this new version.
Natively supported because they're like a little more open. I think Vive is just natively supported, like right off the bat.
Probably. Cool.
Oculus has like a special plugin.
So all you need to do is this. This is it. If you're using Oculus, I think you need to click the Oculus one, but that's it. As soon as you do this, VR is supported and it'll just work out of the box. I don't know how it's going to play with a Cinemachine FreeLook camera, and I don't have VR in my house, so I can't test it out. But yeah, it should work. And then once you build it, it's just going to work the same as any other build, but if you happen to have a VR headset installed, it's going to work out of the box.
Yeah, guys, so how it like actually incorporates with your project. If you have just any camera anywhere in your scene, it'll basically make it so that your VR headset looks through the eyes of that camera. And even though your camera may just be positioned to look at one spot, the VR headset will actually allow you to look around and have like a 360 view from where your camera is. Right. And then you can get it to work together with putting it on character controllers and controlling their characters with like the joysticks that are on the VR headset, depending on which one you have, right, or which one you're using. And you can do some really cool stuff and some little games with that. But most of the time when we're using VR, we like to make like little cool scenes that you can experience. And for that, it's really easy. All you need is just one camera. And if you follow the steps Riley just showed, you can basically just have like a full VR scene that you can look around in. Right off the bat.
And then when you build, can you really quickly just refresh the memory? Yeah.
Yeah, so file, build settings, and then you hit the build button.
Mhm.
That one to build.
Yeah, and you want to make sure that your scenes are selected, right? Those that you want to be in the VR.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
All right. So that's everything I wanted to show you guys in Unity today. There are a couple of other things that I wanted to show you guys outside of Unity that are useful, quite useful. So I am going to jump there. So the first one I wanted to show you is this website called Sketchfab. You guys can still see everything?
Yep.
Cool. So Sketchfab is a wonderful website to download 3D models from. You do need to make an account to get it, but there are just a bunch of different models. I don't know, let's go.
Cars and vehicles.
Sure, cars and vehicles.
Those
Sorry,
wild-
there was too many for me to choose from. Cars and vehicles. And then we can see a bunch of these cars. Some of them cost money. You'll see here that says you have a $sign for the money. Others, though, don't. You can just go ahead and download them. And just download the files and drag it right into Unity. Same as if it were a sound. And it's just going to work off the bat. Should, anyway.
We have about
So-
10 minutes. Can you actually show one how to bring it to Unity? Yeah.
Sure. Let's grab this one. Do I have to click on it? I do have to click on it.
Bring
And
it to
then
project, yeah.
download 3D model.
Mhm.
Aha. I will sign with Google, I guess. And I'll use this account. And sure, I guess I'll create an account. Purchase or download 3D models. I am an individual. I am a game developer. Continue. Are you gonna take me back to the page? Nope, you're not. Great. That's great. Great website design. Okay, here we go. Head back into cars and vehicles. Back into this truck. And now if I hit download 3D model, haha. I'll download this first one, I guess. DAE. I don't know if that's going to work with Unity. Well, we'll see. And then I guess I get a zip file. That's fine. I will show this in folder.
Why do you open zips with VLC?
I have no idea. Open Windows Explorer, please. Thank you. And then source. Actually, what? Hold on.
I need to open it with the WinZip probably, right? It's a zip file.
No, you can open. Windows has native.
Oh, no, don't do that. No. Give me back that.
Just bring it out into your downloads and then
Yeah, I'm going to have to extract. Who puts a
You can
zip
just
inside of
drag
a
and
zip?
drop. Just drag and drop, it should extract it. Yeah, or cut
Yeah.
and paste or copy paste, yeah.
So I'm going to head back over to Unity. Do I have a Windows Explorer open here? I do. Oh, but that's the wrong one. Never mind. I will show an Explorer. Assets. Click somewhere in here that's not, and then Control V. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now I'm probably going to need to go into source again and go, can I just send to, no, can I extract here?
Do you have the WinZip installed?
No,
It
just
should-
just open it with Finder and then drag it out. Or no, not Finder, Windows Explorer.
Aha.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, copy. copy this one and paste.
You can
where
just
you
drag
want.
it straight into Unity, no?
Oh yeah, you can do that. Yeah, I know.
We'll just drag it there.
Well, extract too. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. And now, let's see.
Well, hopefully
It'll
Unity understands the format now. Let's see.
import this. It should. Unity's pretty good about 3D models. Where do we get the recordings?
Can
We'll
you please-
post the link to the YouTube. Tim, can you take care of posting the link to the YouTube playlist
The
again?
link to
These
YouTube was
recordings?
sent to all the parents, guys. So you can ask your parents to actually get that email and forward it to you. But Tim will also paste it now again. But it's the same playlist. So if you, Zachary, if you managed to get in there yesterday, we'll just upload a new video to that same folder, to that same playlist.
Oh, wow, that's massive.
Oh, okay, there you go. So Bradley just brought the model into his Unity project, right?
And shrinking it down a bit, shrinking
For
it down a
demonstration.
lot.
Okay,
I
we
took-
have 5 minutes
That was
left.
huge.
Okay, guys, so I just sent the link to the chat. If you want to go ahead and like open that in Chrome or save it somewhere, that's going to be the link where all of the classes are going to be posted. Currently, all 4 of our past ones are already there. We'll upload today's later when it finishes rendering and everything. But you should have access to all of them later, okay?
Nice. So it comes, looks like it comes as a prefab, and you guys can just treat it as any player, add camera to it, and yeah.
Oh, you
create
can rig
use
it.
in your game. Add rigid body and all that stuff.
So you
Yep.
can add a player controller to it?
Yep.
Yeah,
Technically,
yeah,
yeah.
you
It's just like
treat
any
it-
other object.
Yeah, you just treat it as any other object, right?
So that's how you can go
Excellent.
grab that.
Very exciting.
Quickly going on to show you the next thing. So that's Sketchfab. The next one is Mixamo. Mixamo is very, very similar, except it's for characters, as well as animations to go with them. So if you want to get animated characters and get them working around, Mixamo is great for that. Because we're
How do
running
you
short on
spell
time.
that? How do
Pardon?
you spell it?
Mixamo. Mixamo.
Mixamo, yeah.
It's right on my screen here.
Sorry, I'm out of. Oh yeah, I see it. I got it.
Yeah. Let me post in the chat these names: Sketchfab, Mixamo. So that's Mixamo. A bit of software that you guys might like. I know there was a question about this yesterday. So this is a really great free way to make your own music. It's called Boscasiol. If Windows would stop switching my desktops on me. Boscasiol, I haven't had an opportunity to use it, but I've had it. Why do you keep doing this to me? Oh, I know why. You don't want like me having the chat open. Fine, I'll put Boscasiol in there, close that, and slide over. There we go. So Boscasiol is just for making music. It's just a very simple editor. It's mainly focused on 8-bit kind of aesthetic sounds, but you can make sound effects in it or whole songs in it. It's just a really powerful tool and it's completely free. I think it's also might also be open source.
And
but-
Native Unity tutorials, where can they find those?
I'll get there.
Mhm.
I don't actually know of any. I might not have tutorials for Boscasiol.
We have 3 minutes left.
Right. So. Oh my goodness. Last thing I want to talk about is other places you can go to learn stuff. A couple YouTube channels. Sebastian Lag, Brackies, Jason Wyman. Brilliant tutorials from very beginner stuff to some way more advanced stuff.
Oh, okay.
I'll put their names down in the chat. Amazing places to go learn from. Unity also has a bunch of tutorials. Just Google Unity, learn Unity, and it should be one of the first links. But there's a bunch of different ways to get through here, and it goes through talking stuff. It's maybe not quite as intro as this course here, but it's still fairly introductory, and I'll put all of these things there. So that's other places you can go to learn from afterwards. The last thing I want to talk about. So starting today at 1 o'clock, this thing called a game jam started up. and it's open to everyone. The idea is a theme gets released, and you have 48 hours or so to make a game that responds to the theme. It's not really a competition. You don't really have to post anything if you want, but it's a fun way to take the skills that you have and in a bit of a time crunch, just work and make something. So if you wanted to, straight off from this course, there's something for you to do to practice your skills. So I'll send the link to the game jam. I'm hoping to participate in it. It could be a lot of fun. Don't have to, but it's something there that you can just go ahead and do right now if you wanted to. So the names of the channels that I talked about were Sebastian, Lag, Barakis,
Where can they publish their game?
and yeah, so publishing. The game jam is hosted on a site called itch.io. I'm sure some of you have definitely heard of Itch before. It's a place for indie games. You can make an account here and just publish and then try a bunch of different games. It's a great place to put up a build of your game, and you get a little page for it. Like I said, you have to be 18 years or older to publish here. So definitely talk about your
Talk to your parents if you need.
Talk to your parents about it.
Yes.
Other places you might want to put stuff are the Android App Store or the iOS App Store if you're building for Android or iOS. These are all places you can go, or even just email your friends your projects. That's also an option that exists. And with that, we've come to the end.
Right on time. It's 3 o'clock.
So a bit of a rush at the end there. There's a lot I wanted to get through. That's a
Perfect.
lot.
Thank you so much.
On everything. Do you guys have any final comments or questions that you'd like to raise up?
So we'll take some questions, and with that, we're pretty much done. Pizza Pop. What do you mean, Nathan?
Okay. And make sure you grab everything from this chat that you want, because
if you want to save any links, make sure to click on them and open them somewhere in your browser so that you can bookmark them. Otherwise, you have to go again and rewatch this video and kind of see which websites Riley was showing.
Riley, I need your help with fixing the cameras.
Okay, let's take a look
then. If you need help, just stay and we'll take care of that in the after class session. But I just want to make sure you guys are okay, and I want to thank you for being with us. And this was quite fun, and hope you guys learned something, hopefully a lot, during this week, and hopefully you're motivated to actually create your own Unity projects. Okay?
Is anyone interested in the game jam?
Yeah, I might be.
I am, but I'm a little busy today.
It's like a hackathon for gamers, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You might.
Yeah,
so there's a theme reveal video that was released a couple hours ago. If you wanted me to play this here and we can all watch it together,
yeah, that'd be good.
Sure.
Okay. So I can play that. I'll go grab it, and yeah, I'll go grab it, and then we can watch it, and then I can take care of your problem, Ajwad.
Yeah, and if you guys are not interested, then I can say goodbye and you guys can sign off. But those who are interested, stay online, and we'll continue with you. Okay? Thank you so much for being with us.
Can you put the link to the video in the chat?
I will do this as well. So we're going to do that for the link. We're going to share my screen with my computer sound. So it's only 1:34. Let's go.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the GMTK Game Jam, a 48-hour game-making marathon. If you're watching this video as soon as it goes out, that means you have 2 days to make a game, and your game has got to fit the following theme. This year, for 2020, the theme is out of control. As ever, how you interpret that is entirely up to you. A mountain bike with no brakes is out of control. A game where the rules change every turn is out of control. A virus that can leap from host to host is out of control. The GMTK Jam is about design, innovation, and creativity. So we're looking for games that run with this idea. Games that make us smile, laugh, think, and yell with frustration. Take something players usually have control of and sever that tie. Take something that developers usually have control of and see what happens when you're no longer in charge. Games can be made alone or in teams. You can use whatever tools you like as long as you can upload a game playable on Windows or in browsers to itch.io, and you can use any art and music that you have the legal right to use, but the vast majority of code should be written during the 48-hour window. We also have a Discord channel where you can chat with fellow jammers, get technical advice, and more. Okay, I better let you get started. Best of luck and have fun.
So, that's the theme for the jam.
And this was just released, right?
Yep, that started at 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay, so that was new
So
to you
it's-
too then.
It's
Out
been
of
going
control.
on for a couple of hours, but not too long.
That's cool. That's
Okay,
great.
so that's the theme. That's
Probably
the
wouldn't
jam.
make it.
Pardon?
Probably wouldn't make it.
No? That's
No.
all right.
Well, it doesn't have to be very professional, but usually events like this, does this event teaches you anything? Like they have some jam sessions where they actually teach?
No, they don't. But like I said, there's a bunch of the tutorials online. GMTK themselves have a brilliant website that talk about the broader strokes of game design, less about how to use Unity, but how to make an awesome game is what they focus on, or what goes into making awesome games.
Can you,
Yeah, good luck, Riley. Yeah.
can you use the tutorials on Unity?
Yeah, Unity has its own documentation, very
Sorry.
well written documentation, and its own tutorials, right?
I missed the question.
Can you
So-
use Unity's tutorials?
Do
Yeah.
you want to link to them?
No, I have Unity Hub, so I
Yeah,
can.
even
Oh,
there's some in Unity Hub. What they actually do is they like download like a mini project for you, so they give you all the assets and then show you how to use them. So
Do you get to try other people's or no?
try other people
For the game jam?
Yeah.
Yeah. All the games should be published from the game jam. There should be a link at the end where you can go play all of them.
Okay, so if you need any help, we're still here. You can stay. Otherwise, thank you guys
See ya.
and see you in the
Farewell.
Bye.
Then I
And-
walled away.
Perfect.
Waddle, waddle. Last joke.